Volusia Flagler Fantasy Football League. It is me, Giselle's prenup, with our commish over there with his mustard stain on his shirt, Mr. Mud Dogs, and our special guest on the bottom this week. And I don't know why I'm on the bottom, but he's on the bottom, Mr. Ex boat captain, now quarterback replacement, Mr. Ben Devane. Welcome.
Movies. Welcome. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Well, we're not going to sit here and talk weather anymore, man, because,
this is take two.
This is take two. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the Week 13 picks. Let's fire it up with the women of the Volusia Flagler Fantasy Football League. Tua legit, Tua quit, taking on Bills Mafia president, Aston TDs. I'm going to go ahead and start with Mrs. Gailey on this one, man. It's A.J. Brown taking on his old team, the Tennessee Titans. So this has got to be a revenge game that has been circled on his calendar for a hot minute. And on the flip side, man, Aston TDs, I hate to keep circling back to it, man, but her running back room since Breece Hall went down is definitely been in shambles. So I'm going to go ahead and take the upset this week. Give me Tua legit, Tua quit in a close one.
Yeah, I agree with you. The running backs are hurting pretty bad for Anna. Unless Kelsey decides to go off for like 4 touchdowns, which is very, very possible. I think Tua bounces back this week. St. Brown have another big week. And if, Kamara could just hold on to the football, I like Tua by a field goal.
Again, that if Anna had any other running back in her lineup besides Tristan Ebner, this would be a lot harder for me to call. I don't like the running backs that are in her roster. I've been saying it for weeks. Ryan just talked about it again. I like the Kansas City-Cincinnati matchup. I think that's going to be the game of the week as far as the NFL goes. Kelsey could score a lot. But like the commish said, A.J. Brown going back to Tennessee is going to be a revenge game, and I think it's going to be a damn good one. However, give me Tua by 4.
Sweep it. Next up, we've got the father-son matchup. We've got Iron Smoke taking on Sponsored by Blanton's. I'm going to go ahead and start with my brother-in-law on this one. Lamar Jackson is taking on the Denver Broncos, man, and the headspace in the Broncos locker room is definitely not in a positive place right now. The Broncos defense has been pretty strong this year, so if they show up, man, that could definitely pose some problems for Lamar. Christian Kirk with the Jags, man, he definitely has a plus matchup this week. So I look for Kirk to kind of get back to where he was at earlier this year. I'm going to say, man, he's probably going to be good for about a 15 spot. And on the flip side with Iron Smoke, Tyler Higbee is playing on a team right now, the LA Rams, and their season, they're on to 2023. But they're taking on the Seahawks, and the Seahawks have just bled points to the tight end, man. So, on the Smoke side, I feel like Tyler Higbee, he's going to find pay dirt this weekend. With that said, though, I'm going to take Sponsored by Blanton's. Let's go by a field goal late, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on both of those. I think Lamar Jackson, I think he's due again. It looks on paper, Denver looks like a not a good matchup for him, but I think he's due, and Kirk as well. I had that. I mean, that looks like that game might turn into a shootout. I got Sponsored by Bland's pretty heavy on this one, so I got healthy margin on that one. Give me like 2 touchdowns on that one.
On paper, this is supposed to be a close one, right? Back to the Christian Kirk point. We got Marvin Jones in Jacksonville playing Detroit, and we got DJ Shark in Detroit playing Jacksonville. It's another revenge game. in a sense, and I think it'll actually be a good one for two teams that really not a whole lot of people care about. I think this one is going to be the closest game of the week, even though I just said Mrs. Gailey's going to win by 4. I believe Iron Smoke is going to win by 1.
Ooh, all right,
this
all
week.
right, all right. Okay. All right. Well, next up, we have Mr. Lee Van Leer, Master Bader, taking on the defending champ, Boot and Rally. I'm going to go ahead and start on Mr. Braze's side, man. Saquon Barkley is going up against the Washington Manders, if you will. And the Manders have been pretty strong on defense against the run this year. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a divisional game. Don't get me lying to you. I'm not sure if this is the second time they've seen Barkley this season, but if it has been, history usually says, man, those divisional games get played pretty tight. If Boot and Rally is going to have a shot in this one, man, it's going to have to be CMC catching the football out of the backfield. I mean, yeah, I understand San Francisco, his defense has been pretty good this year, but I mean, the Dolphins really haven't had any issues scoring points. And the whole, Mike McDaniel's coming back, taking on his old boss in the Niners, that definitely should be an interesting game. On the flip side here for Bader, we've got the Dallas Cowboys who've been hot, man, and they're taking on Coach of the Year candidate Jeff Saturday and the Colts. I think Zeke's gonna have a decent game, and that Cowboys defense, man, I think this is another bounce back week for them where they're, I mean, much as I hate to say it, they're probably going to be like north of 15 points. Give me Master Bader in this one.
Yeah, the running backs on Eric's team. I mean, CMC and Barkley. Hurts has more rushing attempts than both of them over the last 2 weeks. Not combined, but each one of them. I think Hurts with a good matchup this week. I think Boot and Rally gets rolled this week by 2+ touchdowns.
It's going to be another sweep, boys. It's going to be another sweep. Jalen Hurts in Tennessee. That's a good matchup. Like you said, the Cowboys are going to be in Indy. Cowboys defense doesn't bode well for Indy and the Coach of the Year this week. I don't know if Zeke's going to have a good game or if Tony Pollard's going to have a good game. So that one's kind of tough to call. But I think overall, with the lack of receiving corps over there on Boot and Rally side and the question marks and matchups for his running backs, I'm going to give it to Master Bader as well by 10.
All right. Next up, we've got Smokin' Joe Burrow taking on the South Central LSU Mud Dogs. To me, guys, this is going to be a battle of two positions. On the Smokin' Joe side, Austin Eckler is going to be on the road at the Death Star taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And when the Chargers and the Raiders played earlier this year, the Raiders were able to corral Eckler to the tune of 7.2 points. If he turns in that performance again, it might be a long week for our boy Alexander. On the flip side, for myself and the Mud Dogs, as much as I think it would be easy for me to sit here and talk about my running backs and their matchups, to me, this one comes down to Gabe Davis on Thursday Night Football. If all goes according to plan, I hope Bill Belichick has schemed up the double team to roll to the Stephon Diggs side as his defensive plan to stop the Bills. And if he does that, that should leave Gabe Davis one-on-one. Gabe Davis has been hit or miss all season, and I'm pegging this one to be a hit weekend. So I know you guys are going to go ahead and take Smokin' Joe in this one, so I'm going to go ahead and pick myself. I'll take the Mud Dogs.
Yeah, how'd you used to say it? Let me hit you with the not so fast. And how you used to say it? I think you're right. I think running backs. I mean, you guys both have strong running backs. I think Smoking Joe's got a lot of good matchups this week, and Burrow might get Jamar Chase back. Kind of hoping that he does. I think that could be the edge this week. So give me Joe in one of those quarter point heartbreakers. I mean, it's not really a heartbreaker for you, I guess. You're already dancing, but it's going to be a close one. I'm going to take Joe by a quarter of a point.
Hey, say it again louder for the other guy on the chat. Already dancing.
Yeah.
It's not very nice. Okay? It's not very nice. Listen. Joe Burrow is going to go nuclear in Cincinnati on Sunday. Now, is he going to go nuclear in a good way or a bad way? I don't know. But he's going to go nuclear. I like your running back matchups. They're good. I think Buffalo's offense is going to get rolling pretty good tomorrow night or tonight. This is a tough pick for me. Give me Smoking Joe by 7.
All right. Next up on the docket, we've got the AT Aliens taking on Shane Falco and Company. I'm going to go ahead and start with my cousin on this one. I know he is just super duper excited to get Jamar Chase back. I know you guys have both mentioned the KC and Cincy matchup pretty much turned into an AFL shootout. That's great. All good and well. Chase can score 30. Hell, he can score 40. But unfortunately for you, cousin, on the ATL side, Deshaun Watson's playing Houston. Okay. And regardless of what you think about what happened with Deshaun Watson off the field, which that is a completely different conversation, he's talking revenge game again against his old employer. Okay. And the Texans are terrible. I mean, they played the Dolphins last weekend, and that game was over at the end of the first quarter. So if you think for like a split second that Deshaun Watson's going to go ahead and get this start against the Browns, or for the Browns against the Texans, and they're going to call off the dogs, yeah, that ain't happening, man. So I got Nick Chubb penciled in for $150 and 2 touchdowns. That's probably going to be by halftime. So I'm going to take the AT Aliens in this one. Big.
I like when you guys pick against me because I tend to win like when I'm in that landslide pick. But I got to agree with you on, I think Cleveland, I don't know if I'm sold on Watson yet because it's me first game back. I don't know if he's just going to come out slinging or not, but Chubb's going to have a big game. And Sanders, like I'm pretty salty about that. I think I've had him like 2 out of the last 3 seasons, and he combined for like 200 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's had a pretty good year this year. And my team, I'm just trying to get a full roster to finish an entire game. So I've got AT Aliens by 10.
Do you have a defense to play this week, bud?
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe. I might just go at it with 8.
Okay. We have
It's a
Mr.
bold
Talk.
strategy, Cotton.
We have Mr. Talk of the Town this week coming back. Revenge game in Houston. Blah blah blah. Not so fast. You're discrediting Kermit the Frog. Okay. Ben has Kermit the Frog. And Deshaun Watson has been getting his rub downs and he's been getting his food and he hasn't been playing. And we all know that Kermit smashes Miss Piggy. Give me Shane Falco by 5. Deshaun Watson does nothing in Houston but go home with an L.
All right. And last but certainly not least, that brings us to the 5-star matchup this week. We have Giselle's prenup taking on Snitches Get Stitches. The South Beach billionaire John Clayton looks like he has finally decided to go back to Mr. Josh Jacobs. Coming off his 44-point escapade last week, Jacobs has a plus matchup against the Chargers, which, as far as fantasy is concerned, has been the second worst team against the run. And also for John, Dak Prescott is at home taking on Coach of the Year candidate Jeff Saturday in the Colts. So I like those two matchups this week. On the flip side, for Mr. Bowen, the one guy we need to talk about in your lineup, man, is Mike Evans. My little homework that I did before this says that he has not caught a touchdown pass since week 4. So is this the week against the New Orleans Aints? Is Mike Evans finally going to snap out of it? Is Tom Brady going to be able to find him for 6? I think he finally does hit the end zone this weekend, but Jonathan Taylor is having to take on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys defense has been stout. So if Jonathan Taylor is unable to get it going and question marks surround Mr. Travis Etienne, I don't see this going well for you this week, Sean. So I'm going to go ahead and take Snitches Get Stitches.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like Jonathan Taylor against Dallas. And Josh Jacobs has a great matchup at home at the Chargers. And Stitches has been hot as of lately. So I know he's questionable. If he doesn't go, I don't like Jefferson's matchup against the Jets, against Sauce. But let's assume that Jacobs goes, and I think Tom Brady comes up short on Monday night. So give me Stitches by 3. Sorry, Sean.
I'm not sorry, Sean.
That's fine. I'm picking ATL Aliens now, too. Just want to let you know real quick. I'm going to revert that pick. Patrick Mahomes will tear his ACL this week. Moving on. Yeah, dude, I got some tough matchups, man. I got a lot of question marks, right? And this is weird for me to be in the 5-star. I'm not really used to this. I'm never going to take myself. Well, I have taken myself, and it's never panned out. John's hot, man. He's got a good team, and back to what you said about Eckler. When Eckler played the Raiders, he only scored 7 points. But if I believe Josh Jacobs only scored 7 points when he played the Chargers. 7.3. So you never know. Jonathan Taylor could run all over. Micah Parsons could, get dehydrated and not play or something. I don't know. I don't think it's looking good. I don't think it's looking good for me, dude. I think I'm going to be 1 game behind John going into week 14, and we are going to be all tied up for the season. And it's going to be a really weird playoff scenario, which I have no idea is how that's going to be fixed. If we both have the same record and we're 1-1 against each other, I have no idea. I guess it's going to go by points, yeah. Which in that case, I'll be on the golf course with Mr. Brazes, drinking Mai Tais.
Brazos is about ready to make the turn already, isn't he?
I'm getting smoked next week, dude. Week 14, Eric's coming to send me packing. Mark my words right now. But we'll talk more about that next week. I guess.
was gonna say, where do you want to set the over under at? 175.
I just want to know. Do you have a plan for the guests for next week?
I've got one in the works.
It's Eric.
No, that's not who it was going to be, but I mean.
Really? Okay, good. Because I don't know if I can handle that.
I mean, maybe, I tell you what, maybe we should just bring him on for the recap, just for the hell of it.
It's funny.
Bowen's chair would
be.
Give
me snitches by a fucking million.
Oh, come on, Sean.
Give me snitches
say it
by
with
a
your
fucking
chest,
million.
dude. Say it with your chest. Come on, man.
Give me snitches. Give me snitches by a fucking million. Okay? No. Fuck that. I'm winning. Everyone's showing up, and I'm going to the show. Get out of here. Clip it. Ship it. I probably just woke up my kid. You're probably right. Snitches by an absolute 1,000. But no, I'm going to win. I'm going to lose so bad, dude. I'm going to lose so bad. Do we have anything else? Because I think this picks have come to an end. Ben, do you have anything?
Nah, I'm good, man. I appreciate it, guys.
You want to tell us about AT&T's new fiber package?
No, I don't like messing with any sales at all.
I wouldn't either.
So keep it simple.
How about you, Ryan? How's your internet doing over there, dude?
Oh, dude, don't get me started on that. My wife was calling me the Grinch on Tuesday. My internet's been out since Monday afternoon, so yeah, listen, it hasn't been.
If you guys are gonna let Spectrum get the W right now, I might just win this weekend. But I'm not.
Ben, thank you again for taking time out and joining us, man. We really appreciate it, bud. Thank you.
Till next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
John, good luck.